What if dozens of unarmed ships, crewed by doctors, activists, and ordinary citizens, set sail toward Gaza and ran headlong into a military blockade? That's exactly what's about to happen. The Global Sumud Flotilla, made up of vessels from over 40 countries, is preparing to challenge Israel's naval cordon. Israel says it will stop them. The UN demands safe passage. Welcome to the Survival Brief, where we break down what's at stake, the legal wrangles, the possible flashpoints, and how this could drag the US and the world into confrontation. Stay with me, because this is more than a protest. It's a test of power, law, and narrative. If you want analysis grounded in fact, not noise, subscribe to the Survival Brief now. What is the Global Sumud Flotilla? This isn't a single ship. It's a coordinated civilian fleet. The Sumud movement, steadfastness in Arabic, is organizing a flotilla of 40 to 50 vessels, carrying supplies, medical teams, and committed volunteers. They plan to depart from Barcelona and Genoa on August 31st, and from Tunisia and Sicily on September 4th. Organizers call it both a humanitarian mission and a symbolic stand against what they label an illegal blockade. Israel maintains that no civilian vessel will breach its security cordon, citing the threat of arms smuggling to Hamas. Human rights groups warn that intercepting civilian ships in international waters raises serious issues under maritime law.
The legal and ethical battlefield. Blockades are tools of war, not routine policing. Under the San Remo Manual, a blockade must be declared, public, and proportionate. You can't starve civilians. Intercepting neutral vessels outside territorial seas may violate freedom of navigation. Israel justifies the blockade as self-defense. Critics call it collective punishment. Past flotillas, like the 2010 raid on Mavi Marmara, exposed the risk. 9 activists died, relations with Turkey collapsed, and global condemnation followed. So when civilian missions meet naval force, the world watches and records the consequences. 3 scenarios at sea. When the flotilla reaches the blockade, 3 broad paths could unfold. Scenario A, peaceful interception. Israeli Navy surrounds the vessels in international waters, orders them to divert or dock, detains activists, inspects supplies. No shots fired, but the presence of journalists or lawmakers means videos of armed boarding operations could spark outrage globally. Scenario B, forceful confrontation. If protesters resist diversion or boarding, Israel might send in commandos, use non-lethal force, or worse. In 2010, a live clash erupted on a ship's deck, and that single event became a global diplomatic firestorm. One misjudged move, one shot fired in panic, and things explode beyond control. Scenario C, symbolic passage or partial delivery. Israel may allow a limited number of supplies to pass under inspection to avoid a full conflict. This would be a diplomatic compromise. Activists gain a symbolic win, Israel avoids bloodshed. But once that door is ajar, it could encourage more flotillas and repeated pressure challenges. Global fallout and diplomatic consequences, European pressure and political strain. Many flotilla ships hail from Spain, Italy, Tunisia. Governments will be forced to respond if their citizens are arrested or harmed. Protests may erupt in European capitals. Parliaments demand explanations. The EU could be pushed to debate sanctions or legal measures. In the Arab world, the flotilla may become a symbol, broadcast nightly, inflaming public sentiment. Great power narratives. Russia and China may leverage this moment.
They can portray themselves as defenders of humanitarian causes, criticizing U.S. backing of Israel. Media war matters. Images of unarmed civilians boarded by commandos can shift public opinion faster than missiles ever could. The UN Security Council might convene in emergency session, Israel declaring security rights, others demanding accountability. Economic and trade ripples. Shipping lanes in the Mediterranean may see disruption. Insurers will raise premiums. Trade routes will slow. For global supply chains and consumers, the cost could be felt in your gas pump, your shipping fees, and your grocery bills. What it means for America. It's easy to see this as a foreign drama until reality hits home in three direct ways. Strategic and military alignment. The U.S. supports Israel. American ships and bases are in the region. Escalation may pull U.S. naval forces in, even if just to project deterrence or secure evacuations. Economic impact. As global shipping costs rise and insurance hikes spread, American importers and consumers face higher prices. Supply chain strain will flow downstream. Political pressure. Images of civilian suffering become powerful in domestic media. Congress, voters, and campaigns will demand U.S. responses. Foreign policy becomes front-page news. Even if the U.S. doesn't directly intervene, it can't stay neutral in perception.
Risks, flashpoints, and what to watch. High-tension triggers. Israel's official statements, "No passage allowed," is a red flag. Naval movements, patrol boats, submarines near flotilla routes, UN statements, strong calls for restraint, raise pressure. First contact, towing, boarding, diversion attempts. Visual media, live video aboard ships, will shape global opinion in real time. Escalation risks. A skirmish at sea may spiral. Commandos retaliate. Drones intervene. Larger naval forces move. Past reports suggest Israel may have prepared plans to sink non-cooperative vessels. Even non-violent interception risks diplomatic rupture bigger than most realize. Conclusion and call to action. This flotilla is more than boats and supplies. It's a challenge to power, law, and media. If peaceful interception, force, or symbolic passage, each path carries consequences for diplomacy, alliances, and norms. What should America do? Stay out, push diplomacy, or be ready to intervene? Let me know what you think in the comments. Share this with someone who needs to see how a ship can spark global debate. And don't forget, subscribe to The Survival Brief for analysis rooted in facts, not emotion. Because sometimes the sharpest weapon is a ship with no guns. And the world is watching.